Hello guys, it's Ivan here checking in, and as always, first things first, hope you guys are awesome. Now in today's video I'm going to change things up. I'm usually more of a self discovery, personal development kind of person, but today I think this also will also help in, not necessarily a personal, actually it helps in the personal development sector as well a little bit, but anyway. Upon listening to a recording by 60 Seconds to Become Rich, I don't really know much about them, but like they invited Robert Kiyosaki to come and do a talk for, obviously an hour because it's 60 seconds. But for those who don't know who Robert Kiyosaki is, he's the author of a #1 bestseller, Rich Dad Poor Dad. At least I think it was a #1 bestseller when it came out because it's a brilliant book. Anyway, he talks about obviously bits and pieces and that set apart the rich and the poor and whatnot. But to me, I picked up two concepts that I thought were rather interesting because obviously I had to keep the video short and sweet, right? So the very first concept, very crucial, but very obvious, but also very crucial, mindsets. Excuse me. And I've talked about this in a past video. Mindsets. Very crucial. The poor and the rich look at things very differently. Where broke people look at failure as something that just that puts them off something if they fail once they're out. Rich people look at failure as failures or making losses as something as a stepping stone to get to the success because they can learn something from it as opposed to something that puts them off. And the other thing is, there also another mindset tweak that rich people have that broke people don't have is how they look at their money, their cash flow. And when they look at their economics, they look at the cash flow. How much am I spending? How much am I making? How much am I keeping? Most importantly, how much am I keeping? Because basing on the cash flows, you can earn a lot of money, but since you cannot monitor your cash flow, how much you're keeping, you might end up spending all of it, and that's probably why there's tons of people out there who are making a lot of money. Like for example, the famous actors and actresses, the doctors, and the football players. Obviously, you can't put doctors among those, but like you get the point. They're earning a lot of money and could potentially become rich or make it to the rich gang if they can make their money, make more money for them. But because they're not monitoring their cash flow, they're thinking more about how much they're making as opposed to how much they're keeping. That's the difference that rich people have. They're looking at how much they're keeping as opposed to how much they're making. And also, that was the other myth that I wanted to talk about. That's also a mindset tweak that we need to make. And I'm also guilty of that myth, thinking that, earning more money doesn't necessarily means, you're rich. Not true. You can earn as much money, like I just said in the example, you can earn as much money as you want, like for the famous celebrities, actors who get paid like 10 million for just playing one role and stuff like this. At the end of the year, they can make about 50 million or 40 million. You can invest this money and make it grow for you. Like for example, like P. Diddy did, or Dr. Dre did as well, investing in Beats. Look at that, how it turned out. He's a billionaire now. He's ranked as, one of the richest in the music industry. Make the money work for you. So don't look at how much you're getting, but more like how much you're keeping. Anyway, that leads into the last point, which is basically how to adapt into the rich people mentality. How to adapt it, which is basically he advised people to keep 3, and I'm gonna start doing this as well. 3 piggy banks. One of them is saving, the next one is investment, and then the last one is donations, because obviously giving's good. It's giving back, because if you want to get more, you also have to learn to give more. That's how the world works. You give, you get. You give, you get. If you don't give, you don't get. Anyway, you choose an amount of money that you feel like you can put into all 3 piggy banks on a regular basis. It has to be an equal amount of money. Not saying I'm going to drop pennies in the charity one and then drop pounds in the savings one, and I'm going to take, drop 10s and 5s in the investment one. It doesn't work like that. It has to be an equal amount of money. And by the way, regardless of the fact that you still have to choose, it's still up to you to choose for how long you want to do this, whether for a month or 2 months or weeks or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I personally would recommend doing it for at least 2 months or 3 months, because obviously, because it's something that you just starting to do, it's outside your comfort zone, it's something new to you. It'll be a lot harder for the first 10 days, but also still hard for the first 30 days, which is why it's better to do it for 2 months or 3 months, because that way, if you keep on doing it, it becomes second nature, so you don't have to overthink about it, so you don't stress it, you just put in the money. And obviously, by doing this, you know that when you put the money in those 3 piggy banks, it's going to be yours. It's yours forever and ever, for however long you choose to put it in. But you also know that it comes at the price of, you need to find the discipline to not break any of them until however long you want to keep the piggy banks. You can even do it for a lifetime. It guarantees how rich you will be. Anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like the video and subscribe for more. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you in the next video.